Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? So, it might seem like I'm nervous because, I'm standing up here for my first time, but really I'm just waiting for my growth spurt to hit. I've been the same fucking height since I was like 12. Doctors telling me, hey, you know what, one day it's just going to happen, maybe when you hit college. I didn't go to college. I went to the Army. I've actually seen the same pediatrician until I was about 18 because they kept thinking that I was fucking 12. I've got 4 little siblings. I can't even call little anymore because one of them's right here to my fucking shoulder. She's literally going to call me when she's, I would say when she's 12 or 13. She's going to be like, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, guess what? They asked me how my little brother was doing. I was talking about you. Oh, well, that's okay. See, here's the thing. Life is not all about not being able to reach the top shelf for me. See, the cool thing about being short, though, is I don't really have to change the size of my clothes a lot because the only thing that I get is wider. So, one day I went from smalls to mediums, and then I went down to schmediums. They don't make that, so I have to get my clothes custom made, and it's not made by a very good person. So, do we all have, well, I know somebody in this audience, everybody has that one family member in their life that they love so much, but y'all would just love it even more when they're embarrassing, right? Not to you, but to themselves. That person for me is also my hero. It's my grandmother. So, about 12 years ago, me and my dad took my grandmother out to Myrtle Beach, and she looked at me and she goes, Cody, there's one thing I've always wanted to try, but I never got the courage to do it. So will you do it with me? I was like, what's that, Grandma? And she goes, I want to boogie. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Everybody wants to try something in their lifetime, right? I don't have coordination skills. I can't even ride a bike. So she gets on this boogie board, and this is how I knew it was about to go down. The tide was rolling in, and there she is, about to lay down on this boogie board. 8 inches of water all of a sudden became 20,000 pounds of pressure, and dear grandmother went from face down to face up. Glasses went flying in the air. It was like Rocky punched her in the face. It was so bad, she actually dragged my dad down with her. She's screaming, Aaron, please help me, I'm drowning. And he's laughing at her, and she goes, why are you laughing at me? And he goes, you're literally laying in 2 inches of water and making a big scene. He's like, the only reason that this is funnier is because your bathing suit is riding up. I will tell you this right now. At 11 years old, I learned right then and there, my family was a little fucked up. The other great thing about being my height, nobody else in my family is my height. We don't know what happened. It's a fucking medical mystery. I got a mom who's 4'11". It's probably her fault. See, the thing is, though, my dad, when he remarried to my stepmom, her whole family's tall. So I'm literally looking up at them like this the entire time, and I kind of felt like Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. I'm sitting there, and it's like that scene with Hodor. He's like, can you please have your companion kneel for me, please? Yeah. I literally have to have that happen because one day I'm going to get spina bifida if I have to keep looking up at people. What does it take for me to grow? That's why you see me drinking over 100 ounces of water every day. I feel like I'm a flower, and one day I'll just... It's not going to happen, I tell you. But I've had 3 interesting things happen to me in my lifetime. And they were not in any specific order. But the order that I put them in, I promise you, it's going to seem like they were. So the first one was me joining the Army thinking that, hey, I'm going to make money, I'm going to deploy. None of that happened. Guess what I learned how to do? I learned how to mop. I learned how to sweep. I learned how to be the best damn janitor I could be in my lifetime. I don't make all that much money. I actually sometimes feel like we're prisoners working. We wear uniforms, we go to our jobs, and we go to our designated sleeping areas, and we have the NCOs or wardens checking on us every day, right? So, I'm sitting there one day. I was in Korea. Fascinating country for your first duty station. I tell you, you tell any of the nationals over there, that you were from a place called Hamburg, Pennsylvania. The first person that I told that to, they looked at me and they said, hamburger? How did that feel? I'm like, how did what feel? Living in a shitty state? And they're like, no, living in a sandwich. I think we're talking about two different things here, buddy, but at least we had a good taxi driver to rider conversation on the way to the concerts. Speaking of concerts, went to a Five Finger Death Punch concert in 2016.
Woo!
This is the moment that every straight woman in that room realized I was gay. I was stuck in an elevator with this 50-year-old lady and two of my best friends, and these people were not shit-faced or wasted. They were a whole nother word that I can't even use to describe it. They might have transformed. And she had a whole nother rise of ascendance, and she was on the hunt for some dick. I don't know what about me looked good to her because I had other friends that were with, and I literally looked like a minor at the time. So this was another issue, probably entirely. She might have been related to Jerry Sandusky. So the thing about that was, she's looking at me in the elevator and looking at all my friends. She goes, "Hi, how you guys doing?" You know, at least I'm trying to verbalize what she actually said. What she really said to me was, "Hi." And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's drinking this strawberry daiquiri on the fucking elevator. This is how I knew I met a winner. And she looked at me and she goes, "What you guys doing after the concert?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I haven't gone to the concert yet. I haven't figured it out yet." And she's like, "Well, I know what you can do." I was like, "I bet you do, but it's not going to be me, honey." And she looks at me and she goes, "How old are you?" I was like, "I'm 19. She goes, "That's the perfect age for me." I was like, "No, let me tell you something right now." I said, "There's one tiny detail that I haven't come out to my friends yet. This is the best part about it." I said, "You're missing some parts." And she's like, "No, this lady's all open for business, honey." And I was like, "I don't think you understand, lady. I'm strictly dickly here. This is how this works, okay? Unless you are either A, a rainbow flag, B, Todrick Hall, or 3, RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm not interested in you, okay?" So we get out of the concert, and this car is tailing us. About 5 blocks, I'd say, and then I finally had enough of it. I was like, "I'm pulling over, I don't know who this is." I've seen way too many Taken movies to know that Liam Neeson's not fucking coming for me, because I don't live near him.